لا هما يشيلوا اللي على الحرف. لا احنا هنشيل في النص ولا على الحرف؟ لا في النص.
لا قدام السلك، انا هاخد السلك كله. خد شيل بتاعتك. حرك السلك. نجيب السلك من وراك ولا عايزه فين؟ Test the mics. Test the mic.
Hey guys, if you're using
Enactus Egypt.
Omar,
Enactus Egypt.
Shaimaa,
Enactus Egypt.
Enactus Egypt.
can we leave it here for the Q&A? Can we leave it here for the Q&A? I'm gonna get class, okay.
You have 1 minute left in your setup period. You may now begin your presentation.
Welcome back to Enactus World Cup competition. What a bittersweet feeling being on stage in front of all of you today. 2 years have passed. 2 years that came with a flux of emotions and experiences. But it's safe to say that we are finally back to normal.
The normal that Howard never had. Howard, the 9-year-old kid, is skipping school to help his father fish for a living. He suddenly found himself obligated to support his family at a very young age. While he is sailing away, the hours pass by, stealing his childhood and depriving him of what could have been his best memories. Awad is rapidly falling victim to a creature that was feeding on his only source of living. A foreign creature to the inhabitants of the region. And that's the signal crayfish.
The signal crayfish is a type of crustacean that lives only in fresh water and originated in North America, causing no harm as it's considered its natural habitat. But have you ever thought what would happen if this crayfish was carried out of its origin? According to the World Council of Fisheries, the presence of signal crayfish outside its habitat causes a significant disruption to the surrounding ecosystem.
Seeing as the female species can lay over 1,200 eggs annually, this high reproduction rate greatly affected the fish productivity in more than 36 countries, as it not only preys on fish, but devoured their eggs too.
And the damage didn't stop here, as it digs deep tunnels that destroy the nearby irrigation systems and cause soil fragility, which is believed to be a nightmare to the agricultural sector. That's exactly why the European Union has listed the signal crayfish as one of the worst invasive alien species.
Although the signal crayfish can be eaten in few countries, yet it didn't help in reducing its damage. Unfortunately, it left the landfills overflowing with crayfish shells reaching over 6.7 million tons of waste annually.
In Egypt, It all started in the 1980s when the Nile first suffered from the signal crayfish. This was due to a failed aquaculture experiment that was believed to save the Nile from the bilharzia disease. But the truth turned out to be shocking, as Egypt became one of the many invaded countries.
So we needed a closer look at this problem. After spending over 4,500 kilometers of traveling and 5,000 hours of needs assessment, including surveys, personal interviews, and focus groups, we found that the signal crayfish has trespassed to 17 governorates in Egypt, with El Giza, the second largest governorate, being the most affected one.
According to the Egyptian Institute of Oceanography and Fisheries, the Nile's fish production has dramatically decreased by 50% since this crayfish was first introduced. As a result, Awad's family has lost 60% of their life necessities in the last 10 years. The crayfish kept eating away from their only source of living, till they were left with nothing to eat. And this was the case of 240,000 Egyptian fishermen who were forced to give up their work against this invasion.
Since the damage had reached humans, land, and water all alike, we couldn't just turn our backs on this problem. So we came up with Gravita, a two-phase project with 4 main tracks that create a closed-loop production model. Phase 1 aimed to make the best use of this abundant source in order to empower the private fishermen and their families.
So we started with the shells, as our research has proven that it contains 60% chitin, which is the primary source of chitosan, a compound that nowadays possesses a global market value of nearly $6.8 billion. In the meanwhile, 95% of Egypt's chitosan demand is being imported at very high prices. So it was time to penetrate such a promising market.
With the help of the National Research Center, and after 6 iterations of prototyping, we were able to produce 87% pure chitosan, which surpasses that extracted from any other crustaceans. That being the case, we can proudly position ourselves as the pioneers in the extraction of chitosan from crayfish shells.
Now we had nothing left but to start our production. So we established 4 production hubs in El Giza. Hence, we started training 105 fishermen on the entire process, from hunting crayfish down to chitosan extraction.
Following such simple technicalities, our fishermen were able to utilize 1.4 tons of crayfish, producing 500 kilograms of chitosan, which was sold for $8 per 100 grams, introducing to the market a local product that is 46% cheaper than the imported one, while maintaining the same quality.
On that account, we successfully provided universities and research centers with our chitosan to be utilized in scientific research. Then, we leveled up by signing contracts with 2 of Egypt's largest food processing companies to use a local product as a natural food preservative.
And after 3 months of growing sales, we generated revenue streams of $45,000 while maintaining 30% return on investment. Finally, we are now contracting with a leading American company in drug delivery to export 15 tons of chitosan by the end of 2022.
Now it is time to shift to our second track. According to the World Bank, the world has been facing a food security crisis as a consequence of the Russian-Ukrainian war. And due to the restrictions applied in the global trade, Egypt suffers from food insecurity, leading to a price raise in poultry feed by 27%.
However, our research revealed that the crayfish body consists of 3 of the main essential components of poultry feed: protein, calcium, and phosphorus. Based on the aforementioned facts, we started various iterations of prototyping, and proudly, we produced a poultry feed that is 30% cheaper and 100% made from local components. Consequently, our product got accredited by the Egyptian Ministry of Agriculture.
Moreover, aiming for fully productive families, we trained the wives of the fishermen on the whole process, and within only 2 months, they succeeded in producing 10 tons of our feed.
For our market entry strategy, we offered a free-of-charge first batch to the farm owners in order to attract our business early adopters. The feedback was reassuring, as our feed recorded the highest value of poultry's weight increment, which is 85%. Accordingly, we are now providing feed for over 5,000 poultry monthly.
By the end of our first phase, we were able to empower the fishermen and their families by providing them with $750 as a monthly income.
Throughout our journey in El Giza, we found that its people were susceptible to many chronic diseases, and their health was deteriorating day by day. So this led us to phase 2, which focuses on enhancing the wellness of our people through providing them with good nutrition and clean water.
Although water is an essential resource for human survival, Awad has a lack of access to a clean source of water, a normal blessing he is deprived of. Imagine 297,000 children worldwide under the age of 5 die each year because of diseases caused by contaminated water, and every day Awad is threatened to be one of them.
So we started by testing samples of water, finding out that the heavy metals percentage exceeded the safe limits by 30%. According to WHO, the constant consumption of such water could lead to kidney failure and unfortunately ending up with death.
After 2,500 hours of extensive research, we discovered the chitosan's high removal efficiency and fast deposition rate of heavy metals. Proudly, we developed a tap water filter which purifies the water using disposable chitosan filtration candles. Their formula was designed to eliminate heavy metals, sediments, and bacteria.
And only 3 months later, we managed to install the water filter in 460 houses in Giza, while providing the chitosan candles with an affordable price of $1 per candle. Not to mention that only 2 of our candles are enough to have a clean source of water for a whole month.
Since our filters demonstrated exceptional efficiency, we needed to ensure the sustainability of our product. As a result, we contracted with Nanofab Company for Scientific Industries to be our manufacturing partner, supplying them with our raw material, chitosan, extracted from our hops.
Now it is time to focus on our fourth track, which tackles good nutrition. Despite the importance of healthy food for well-being, farmers in El Giza do not restrict their usage of chemical pesticides, which in turn leaves Awad's fragile organs more vulnerable to long-term damage to his health.
But our R&D team discovered another golden ability for chitosan by acting as a growth enhancer and antimicrobial agent. And through our collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, we were able to produce an organic pesticide with no side effects on plants nor people, inspired by FAO Initiative for Green Cities.
And in order to encourage the farmers to shift from chemical to green agriculture, we penetrated the market with a competitive edge of being 40% cheaper than other chemical alternatives. Consequently, we passed the know-how of the process to 60 fishermen, enabling them to generate a monthly income of $500.
As a result, Crevita's biopesticide is now utilized on over 6,400 acres across El Giza, providing for the first time not only Awad, but all our people a chance for sound nutrition.
To summarize the impact in El Giza, Crevita succeeded in creating entrepreneurial leaders, empowered the Egyptian families, and elevating prosperity across 4 major fields: fishing, poultry, health, and agriculture, proudly establishing a truly self-sustaining community.
We took it upon ourselves to ease the burdens of those suffering from crayfish harms. Thus, it was crucial to have a sound expansion strategy to alter more lives, and that's by changing the mindsets of the fishermen towards crayfish.
So we reached out to local community centers across 11 governorates in order to lay the foundation stone of our future expansion. And in collaboration with Life Makers, our community partner, we raised awareness of 2,500 fishermen about the economic value of crayfish.
Consequently, the results were outstanding, as we started our first expansion stage by establishing production hubs in 2 of Egypt's highly populated governorates, Gharbiya and Munufiyya.
Not only that, we decided to globalize our impact beyond borders. Thus, we passed the technical know-how of our project via translated sessions, reaching Sudan and Uganda through local NGOs.
We managed to impact over 170 fishermen and their families in diverse communities. According to our business plan, Crevita's expanded to 9 of the affected countries by 2025, generating total revenues of $6.4 million.
To sum up Crevita's journey this year, we directly impacted 9,650 lives, while indirectly impacting more than 780,000 individuals.
We rescued the Nile from 127 tons of signal crayfish, aiming for a balanced ecosystem.
We unlocked our beneficiaries' minds to 4 new profitable industries from the crayfish that contribute to the national economic growth.
We increased the family's income by 260% and elevated their standards of living.
We improved the health of over 9,000 individuals by providing them with an access to a clean source of water and good nutrition.
Proudly, we fulfilled 12 of the SDGs, embraced the mindset of inclusive prosperity, and generated a total revenue of $1.6 million.
Imagine now what Awad, the 9-year-old kid, could achieve. How much impact and outreach this project has initiated.
How many opportunities and possibilities have unraveled for only Awad to decide how he wants to live his life.
The decision is his, and it's our duty to help Awad and many more like him to choose their destiny and future.
This is a story of fulfillment.
And this is just the beginning. This is
Enactus Egypt!
Thank you to the team from Egypt. Judges, you may now begin the 5-minute question and answer period.
Hello, can you explain in a very detailed way how do you calculate the 700,000 indirect impact and the total revenue of the project, please?
Thank you for your question. Regarding the first part about the indirect impact we made through our project, we directly impacted the fishermen who affected by the harms of the signal crayfish through the Nile. We also indirectly impacted their families. They have no work since this crayfish was first introduced to the Nile. They were suffering from this creature, and we were able to empower them and their families too. Also, we directly impacted all our people in Giza through providing them with a good source of water and a good nutrition through our water filters and through our pesticides. Regarding the second part of your question, regarding the revenues we generated, I will say a lot of numbers, so I hope you don't pull with me. Regarding the $1.6 million we generated from our first track, the Kaitozan, we generated about $225,000 through producing 2.8 tons from this product. Regarding the second one, which is the poultry feed, we generated $75,000 from producing 90 tons of this product. Regarding the third one, which is the water filters, we generated $7,000. Regarding the fourth one, which is biopesticide, we generated $63,000. And the rest of the revenues are generated from exporting the Kaitozan to the leading American company in drug delivery at the end of this year by exporting 15 tons. I hope my answer satisfies your question.
Hi, congratulations, great presentation and great projects too. All those 4 projects, are they all 2022 or are these projects come from previous years? And the numbers that you presented are 2022 or is that a cumulative from previous years?
Thank you for your question. This project was implemented in 1 year. We have started in August 2021, and all these numbers of the production and the revenues are generated in only 1 year. I hope my answer satisfies your question.
Fascinating project. Can you explain the economics of the Tritozan production and marketing? What I'm particularly interested in, what is income versus total cost?
Actually, I can't see you, so... Okay, regarding our Kaitozan, we have one jar with 100 grams is sold for $8, while the cost of this product is about $4.5. So does this answer satisfy your question or you need more details? Okay, regarding the poultry feed, we have a package of 25 kilograms is sold for 10 grams, while the other competitors sell this same amount with about $15, so we have a competitive edge. Regarding the third product, which is the water filter, is sold for $4 per one water filter, and the candle is sold for $1. Sorry, regarding the fourth product, I forgot it, the biopesticide is sold for $15 per 1 liter.
Thank you.
A great innovation. Who had the idea? Who made it work? And can you explain the process a bit?
Thank you for your question. When we started in August 2021, it was one of our project managers' idea to utilize the crayfish from the Nile and produce products that could benefit our people and would empower also the women in our project. And the process of producing, you're asking about the process of producing which product of them?
Not the product. You figured out something which is worth a lot, chitin. So the question is, who had that idea? Who figured that out?
Okay. After 2 months of research and needs assessment about the problem and how the fishermen is affected by the problem of the crayfish, and also the farmers by the crayfish, as the crayfish digs tunnels in the lands by the Nile, we have searched about the signal crayfish and the uses
that we can utilize it in. And we started our first phase by our two first products, which are the chitosan and the poultry feed. Both are utilizes the 100% of the crayfish. And after further needs
The
assessment...
question and answer time has expired. Judges, please join me in thanking the team from Egypt.